Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we are going to talk about American politics. And I'm going to ask the question: is Shabuzi, the artist who sings "Tipsy," everyone in the bar getting tipsy, absolute smash hit of 2024, and actually a smash hit of I think almost any decade. It's one of the biggest pop songs ever, right? It's huge, right? So Shabuzi sang Tipsy, big. I think it's the biggest hit of 2024. Is Shabuzi guilty of stolen grit? All right, now let's get into this. So first of all, what is stolen grit? All right, um, so do you know what stolen valor is? Let me explain what stolen valor is. So if a Marine walks into a bar and he's got a T-shirt that says Semper Fi, right? And everybody's like, and somebody's like, hey, thank you for your service. Let me buy you a drink, right? If he's a Marine, that's all cool, okay? If a if if another guy who never was in the Marines does exactly the same thing, walks into the bar and takes the drink, that's stolen valor. I actually think it's stolen valor the second he puts the shirt on, right? Because it's giving people an indication that he's a veteran, right? A U.S. military veteran. That's stolen valor, right? So stolen valor refers specifically to U.S. military veterans, and when somebody pretends to be a U.S. military veteran, because it's wrong. Like, you would get honor and glory and that you don't deserve, right? So here's what stolen grit is. Okay, so Shabu. So let's talk about So let me walk you there. Be a little patient. Thank you. All right. So Shabuzi. All right. So I watch SNL every week. And Shabuzi must have been the musical guest, right? And so they were saying Shabuzi through half the skits, and I was like, what the heck's a Shabuzi, right? Because I didn't know who sang the song Tipsy. And the reason why is I don't like country music. I do not like country music, right? So Shabuzi is a country music singer, and so he made this song. It was a smash hit, right? And not just a country music smash hit. It was a pop song that broke through. And every now and then, a country music song will be such a banger that it'll come onto the pop charts, right? It'll literally become popular, right? Where most country music is not popular. Like, people in the South listen to it, and that's it. Done and done, right? Done and dusted, right? But this one was like everybody was listening. This song was a banger, right? So, and I have heard it, like, just, on the radio. I don't think I've ever sat down and listened to the whole song because it's country, right? So Shabuzi was on, and so I saw all these SNL skits that were talking about Shabuzi, and then I use an app called Hark, and Hark I highly recommend it. It takes all the big podcasts and cuts out the best parts of the podcast and just serves them up to each day. And they're like, hey, here's the best part of that podcast. Listen to this. It's really good, right? And they were like, how did Shabuzi's Tipsy become a world record breaker, right? A historic record breaker, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to look this up. So then I was like, I got to listen to this song. So I actually put on Shabuzi and started listening to the song. Couldn't get through it. I really don't like country music. But right away, Shabuzi's on the screen, right? And he is a famous country music singer, right? And I realized he was wearing a Carhartt jacket. And immediately I was like, yo, man, that ain't cool. Stolen grit. Now, what do I mean by stolen grit? Okay. All right. So first of all, let's talk about Carhartt, right? Carhartt. So it's the same thing, right? It's the Semper Fi, right? I'm not a U.S. military veteran. I couldn't go get a T-shirt that says Semper Fi and go into a bar and get drinks because, well, first of all, I'm a teetotaler, so I wouldn't do that. But you're following me here, because that would be stolen valor, right? Well, I think Shabuzi wearing a Carhartt jacket is stolen grit, and here's why. I really would love to own a Carhartt jacket. I think they're super cool. The brown one, it's got the yellow tag on it. And when you wear a Carhartt jacket, It says to everybody, I got this rugged, winterized coat because I'm going to work outside, and I can change a tire in the winter, right? If you wear a Carhartt jacket, Shibuzi is saying, I can change a tire in the winter. No, Shibuzi, you cannot. You cannot change a tire in the middle of the winter. You know how I know? Because you play guitar and tour, right? Like, you are a soft, non-laborer knowledge worker, right? Like, and actually, you're not even a knowledge worker. You are an artistic worker, right? That's even more soft than a knowledge worker, right? Like, I'm a knowledge worker, right? I'm not a laborer, right? And I really wanted to buy a Carhartt jacket, but I don't. And the reason why I'm like, that's stolen grit. When I see a dude wearing a Carhartt jacket, I'm like, that's cool, man. That dude could change a tire in winter, right? Like, I could not do that. My hands are literally too soft, right? With just the lug, first of all, I wouldn't be able to get the lugs off. I would not know where to put the jack, and I'd be wicked cold, and I would just be like, I'm calling, my roadside service plan, right? And so I really feel that Shibuzi is guilty of stolen grit. Now, what's really interesting about this is we need to start worrying about this kind of thing now because of the plague years, right? Before, stolen valor was a thing, and that's all we ever thought about, right? But increasingly, more and more, different jobs are hero jobs, right? And old hero jobs are now complete scrub jobs, right? Like, are considered complete scrub jobs, right? All right. Or just regular jobs, right? Not a hero, right? And so, like, I think everybody still agrees. U.S. military veterans are heroes, period. End of sentence, right? But now, since the 2020 to 2022 plague years, everybody's like, nurses are heroes, and truck drivers are heroes. Are they equal to U.S. military veterans? Yep, probably. I think most people are like, heroes are heroes. Hero's a badge. It goes across, right? Like, and I'm kind of like, I get it, right? Now I don't have any of those jobs, so I'm not a hero, right? Like, but I really feel like Shibuzi is like kind of giving a trucker vibe, right? And I'm like, dude, man, you ain't a laborer, right? You can't change a tire in the winter, right? Like, like that.